Okay, flutists, students and wannabes, I'm back for one more video, tip number 7. I hope I haven't lost count out of it. And we're gonna continue our work that we're doing in the last video, which was about how to place all the fingers on its home keys. Okay, so first video we talked about the stretchings. Second video we talked about breathing and had a first exercise. Third, 2 more breathing exercise. 4, we talk about the flute part and how to work with the head joint. Number 5, we talked about exercise that we can do on the head joint. Number 6, we finally get the flute together in its parts and how to assemble it and how to get the first finger going here using this bone here. Watch that if you missed. And now we're going to talk about adding, number 7, the other fingers. And that's how you're going to work. Once you have this finger here nice and steady, you're holding the flute here normally, you're going to place your thumb right here on this larger key instead of this smaller one, always on this larger key. And then if you have this finger placed right correctly with this bone against the flute and this finger slightly curved closing the second key with an extension of the first, you should have no problem placing the thumb there because it's going to be about in the same place, in the right position. It's going to be like nearby this key. Okay, and then you have like this first pinch that we're doing on the flute, and that's very stable and very important for you to start learning and place your fingers in their home keys. Okay, after that one, you jump 1 key and go to the next to add a finger number 2. Okay, and it should be no problem as long as you touching your bone here against the flute to hit that key. Finger number 3 is a slightly trickier one. That's why some flutes we have what we call an offset flute. Usually most students is like that. It's when you see this key is slightly offset offline from the other keys. You see, mine is a half offset flute, so it's slightly off, not too much, but I have a second flute which is completely offset and the G comes much further outline from the other keys. And your flute might be like that, I hope so, but some flutes are in line, so are exactly in the same place, in the same line, and that can be harder for your third finger to reach it and keep it in line. So you've got to make sure you do that, and I've got to make sure I cut my nails. Okay, all right, we'll do that. So if you will have an offset flute, that's lucky, it's good. You don't have to shred this finger so much, and that's a good thing. Mine, I have to do a little bit. I confess that was a process for me to get used to this half offset flute, especially because I have an open hose and I have to cover the hose nice and well. But now I'm very used to it. With practice, we learn everything. So there we go. That's your first hand, you see? And then you have a nice and stable. You notice that we're not putting the flute on our chin or trying to blow it. We've got to learn the fingers well first. So don't blow it. Just finger work. And then the next hand is you're going to face the palm away from you instead of towards you like we did on this one. And then I'm holding the flute with just one hand. Look, I'm using the help of my pinky. So this is easy for me. But if it's hard for you, maybe you can do something like this. Or you can put your elbow on a table, just for now. So you can hold the flute in this position so you can think about your right hand nice and freely. So look at it. Keep in a relaxed position. You can shake it like this, and it's going to be like a C-shaped relaxed position. And you want to fit the C-shaped relaxed position on these last 3 keys of the body, not the foot, the body. Okay, each of these fingers, 1, 2, and 3, goes exactly on these last 3. Make sure you like this and not something like this, so you don't press any extra undesirable keys in the process. And then your thumb should be placed right underneath your first finger, somewhere there. I use what I call a push out thumb, which my thumb goes behind the flute to push it and help this bone to push it out and help this bone when it pushes in against my chin. You might find that comfortable and will help you a lot with stability, but if it's too strange at the beginning, you can just keep it under the flute for now, okay? So you have these two options. This finger you don't need here anymore because it was just helping out. It should stay always on top of this key because there's where he's going to press when we need it. That's its home key and him alone. Okay, the pinky goes here on this very first key. And the others, obviously, close on the other keys. Okay, so these are all the home keys for the flute fingerings. Oh, look. The bone always against here, the tube. And that's it. That's how you want to do it before you even put the flute on your face. Okay? And just stay here. Look in front of your body. You don't need to do anything else. Just look at your hands, make sure they are in the right place. Make sure this bone is already touching the tube like we're talking about, this bone. Make sure your thumb's pressing the key underneath. This is under your first finger. You're not pressing any extra funny keys. You want to take some time to make sure you learn how to hold and position your fingers before trying playing. Okay? And we're actually going to play next video. Hey, see you then. Happy fluting!